Okay, today we're going to learn to use number sentences and words and pictures and interchange the three of them. So we'll be looking at number sentences and then how that looks in word form, and then how I can write also a model to draw what it would look like. So for this first one, you can see that written in words it looks different. 3 times the sum of 26 and 4. So I want to key in on a couple words here. I have sum and I have times. And I know that sum is going to tell me to add, and I know that times is going to tell me to multiply. The sum of 26 and 4. So that's the first part that I want to write out. So the sum when I add them, and then it says 3 times that, so I have 3 times. A model of that is just our tape diagram that we go back to. Okay, that bar would be 26 plus 4, and then because it says 3 times, I would have 3 bars. And I could put 26 and 4 above all of them, but I'm not going to right now. So you can see that's what the model would look like, that's what the picture would look like, and then there's my number sentence. One thing we want to look at is, are the parentheses necessary? Well, they are necessary here because if I didn't have the parentheses there, I'd be multiplying 3 times 26, and that's not what the question asked me. They asked me 3 times the sum of 26 and 4. So I want to make sure I keep that sum of 26 and 4 separate, and the parentheses help with that. We'll look at a couple more examples and then I'll show some on the homework. So 6 times the difference between 60 and 51. So I'm going to circle any keywords. Here I have difference and I have times. Times is going to tell me to multiply. Difference will tell me to subtract. So I'll start with the expression. The difference is going to be between 60 and 51. And again, I want to put that in parentheses so that I don't get mixed up and do my multiplication first. 6 times, so 6 times the difference of 60 and 51. Okay? The model, because I have 6 times, I want to have six bars. So I'm going to split this into 6 sections. And each of those sections will be 60 minus 51. I can label all of them or just label one because I know that they're equal. Okay. Okay, here they start with the numerical expression, and they're asking you to put it in words. So I would say 8 times. Okay, so now I'm looking at, am I talking about the sum or the difference? Because I have a minus sign, subtraction, I know that's difference. So 6 times the difference of 43 and 13. Okay? There's my, actually I got these mixed up. That's my words. And then my model would be my tape diagram. And because I have 8 times, I want to split this into 8 sections. And then each section is going to be 43 minus 13. We'll look at a couple on the homework, so you're clear on that. So these ones are the same ones that we just did on the computer. So they want you to draw a model, and then they want you to write the numerical expression. I think it's usually easier for me to do the numerical expression first, but if it's easier to do the model, that's fine too. So sum tells me to add, and doubled, that means times 2. So the sum of 21 and 4, I want to add those two together, put the parentheses, and then doubled, times 2. So because it's times 2, my bar is going to be split into 2 spots, and each section is going to be 21 plus 4. So if you look on the back, they want you to use words and then answer it. So here, I have a multiplication sign, which I know I'm going to say times, and then I have an addition sign, which I know I'm going to say sum. So I have 10 times the sum of 12.5 and 13.5. And then the value, I would just figure that out. I want to make sure that I add first.
So I think it's 2.5.
Oh, it's 2. That's actually a 2, I'm sorry. I was looking at the parentheses. So I want to add 2.5 and 13.5. And I will end up with 16. So then I have 16 times 10, which will give me 160. That's my value when I actually figure out the answer. Down here, this is a little bit of review. We're looking at the idea of that commutative property. As long as you have the same community of numbers, they're going to be equal. So the first two that you're comparing, I can see that these are not going to be equal. 40 plus 2 is going to be the same. See how that's the same on both sides? So that part's the same. The part of our problem is different is going to be the 93 and the 39 that I'm multiplying by. I know this one's going to be bigger because I'm multiplying by a larger number. Okay? So they want you to, and then they want you to explain how you compared it without actually figuring out the answer. So I would write that I knew that 40 plus 2 was equal on both sides. The part that was different was the 93 and the 39.